Okay, there it is. So for reporter speech using simple past, I went to the mall. Once we change it, we go ahead and say, she said that she had gone to the mall. We're using, again, had and then gone. Had because it is the auxiliary for past perfect, and gone because it is the past participle of the verb go, which in this case we use in simple past as went. Before we move into the other tense, are we clear up to now with this one? I'm gonna take that as a yes then. Okay, so this one was for simple past. So let's move into one that could be a little bit easier. Let's use simple present. So let me write it. That simple present. So for simple present, let's create a sentence. Um, I eat a salad. So I eat a salad. It's a very simple sentence. It's in simple present. So I have to go one step back in past. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take eat and I'm going to use the simple past version of it. So he said that he ate a salad. As simple as that. So I was in present and now I'm going to be moving into past because I'm going one step backwards. David, no, David, no, Marcus. Marcus, can you give me an example of a simple sentence in simple present?
I play soccer.
Thank you. I play soccer. So if I go ahead and change this one, it would be, he said, he said that he played soccer. Again, this one is optional. You don't have to use it. You could if you want to. It's a matter of style, likes and dislikes. Super simple. It's just going one step back and past, and we're gonna have like a list where you can see all of them. So don't worry. Any questions up to now? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, let's move into.
Very clear.
Thank you, Carlos. Let's go ahead and move into the following. So this one was for simple present. Let's move into present continuous. So for present continuous, let's see. Ligia, can you give me a sentence in present continuous?
I am studying English.
Perfect. I am studying English. So if I have to go ahead and transform this into reporter speech, I go and I say, she said. She said she was studying English. Look that in this one, I did not use that because it is optional. So I can go ahead and use it or not use it and it would still be correct. So I had in the original example, I had present continuous. Whenever I have to go ahead and change it into reported speech, it will be she was studying. So I changed from present continuous into past continuous. It is just a matter of understanding both, like which is where are we, how it works, and which will be the equivalent if we have to report it back. Okay, let's have another example. Let's see, Carlos, can you give us an example in present continuous?
I am making a robot.
I am making a robot, right?
Okay. And he said that he was making a robot.
That is perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, as easy as that, guys. Super simple. Now, do we have any questions in regards to present continuous?
No, teacher.
Okay, awesome. Now let's move into present perfect. Let's see who remembers present perfect. Maybe we can have Catherine. Catherine, can you give us an example using present perfect?
Um, I don't know. I
It's
don't
okay.
remember, teacher.
It's okay, don't worry, it's totally fine. Guys, does anyone remember present perfect?
Me, teacher.
Yes, please go ahead and give me one in present perfect.
Um, you have read a book.
Thank you. Super simple, just remember that for reading simple past, we say read. But I know the structure is perfect. So thank you very much. In regards to this one, something very important is that usually when, well, we can use you. Let's go ahead and change it. So she said, what do you think will be the equivalent to going one step back in past for present perfect? Who wants to guess?
In present perfect.
No, this is present. Yeah, this is present perfect. So going one step back in past, what do you think will be? Like, what do you
That's
think will be the structure? Uh-huh.
that's perfect.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Ligia. She said that you,
Teacher,
yes, tell me.
can use you or she.
No, you can use you because in this case, you're telling me something. For example, maybe Ligia, you're talking to me about, I don't know, maybe Marcos, and you're like, oh, Marcos read a book, whatever. So for that reason, maybe I am already speaking in front of Marcos and telling him that Ligia said that. So I can say, Marcos, she said that you had read a book. Do you see the example? For example, maybe you were speaking to Marcos. Marcos said, I have read a book. And then you go and you report back to me. So you can go, and then I go to Marcos and I say, Marcos, instead of she, I can say Ligia. Ligia said that you have had read a book. So I'm actually telling Marcos what you told me. Do you see the point?
Yes, teacher.
You look confused.
uh, a little.
It's just, I know, I see your point because it sounds very like, él me dijo, yo le dije, todos nos dijimos, right? Like it sounds very like when you're gossiping. I think the most common scenario is like the one-to-one person. Maybe she said, he said, something like that. But this one is a possible example where Marco says that, you write it down, and then I go to Marcos and I say, Marcos, Ligia said that you have read a book, because maybe I am interested in the book. So I can say, Marcos, Ligia said that you had read Game of Thrones, for example. So I'm actually, let's say, confronting Marcos about that to know if it's real, because maybe I want to read the book and maybe I'm looking forward to see Marcos can lend it to me so I can read it as well. Better, Ligia, and everyone.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, if not, we're gonna have a lot of practice in this, so don't worry. Okay, this one,
Teacher,
tell me.
so we use past perfect when the original sentence is in perfect present perfect or simple past.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
At the end, as soon as we finish with all the different tenses or that we're gonna cover, I'm gonna be trying to create like a small chart that we can actually have there. I think it will make it easier to understand that. Okay, so for present perfect, now we're gonna move into, we already talked about simple past, so let's talk about future. So in future, the one that we use the most is will. So let me write it here. So let's go ahead and have a sentence in future. Let's see. Melissa Chinchilla, can you give me a sentence using will?
Yes, teacher. With will.
Yes, please.
Okay. Mm. Teacher Luis will create a new test.
That is very accurate. Okay, teacher Lewis will create a new test. That is perfect. Now let's go ahead and report these back. So she said something, a small parenthesis. We, instead of using said, we can use the verb tell, which will be in past where we use told. The difference is that when we use told, we must use a object pronoun. Who can tell me what an object pronoun is for an imaginary candy?
Told me.
Yes. I don't know if that was a batazo, if you really know the object pronouns, but that was good. Yes, object pronouns are the ones that are like me, you, her, his, all of them, us, etc. So we can also say, let me go ahead and write it here. She told me that, and then we can have the rest of the sentence. Something super important, set does not require the object pronoun, meaning no. With said, you don't need it. If you use told, you do. It's a must. For that reason, you can use both, but if you're going to use said, she said, and that's it, or she told me, she told us, she told them. So you must have an object pronoun there after told. End of the commercial. So she told me that teacher Lewis, we can use here. Just let me go ahead and change it. That he would create a new test. So as you can see, will changes for would when it comes to future. When we are reporting it back, we're gonna change it and use would instead of will. Any question in this one? Nope. Okay, awesome. So now let's move into the following. And again, we're gonna have a lot of practice, so don't worry about it. And if you have questions, you can go ahead and let me know. Okay, now let's move into can. When we use can, we all know how can works. Can is pretty much like a modal verb used to express the ability to do something. So we can go ahead and say, she can jump very high. So if I want to convert this, I just go ahead and say, he told me that she could jump very high. Meaning that can, it's gonna change for could. Let's have another one. Let's see, Mario, can you give me a sentence using can?
I can use the computer for draw.
I can use the computer for drawing. If I want to go ahead and change it, super easy, I can say, he said that he could use the, and then we know the rest of the sentence. As easy as that, super simple. Let's change into the following one, or let's move into the following one. This one will be using may. The good thing about using this one is that we just study them and we have them in the quiz, so you probably have them very fresh. Okay, so for may, we know may, it's another modal verb, which is gonna show probability up to a 50%, like maybe yes, maybe not. And so we can have a sentence. They may attend the party. So if I want to go ahead and change it, it's pretty much the same. He said that they might attend the party. Super quick commercial on these as well. I know you know this, but just in case, remember that this one's may, can, might, could, all of those are modal verbs. So we're gonna change the modal, but that's it. We're not gonna touch the verb. The verb will remain in simple form, because after a modal, the verb will always, always, always be in simple form. Okay. Let's have the following. This one is for must. I must travel this year. She told me that. Who wants to make a guess? Let's see. You might actually get it right. So she told me, sorry, she told me that.
Teacher,
Yes.
when I use till.
Whenever you want to. Is your how can I say? It's up to you. You choose. Is the one that you prefer. Even if today you say no, I want to use set for the rest of my life, you can use set. Or if you say no, I prefer to use told, like she told me, then you can use it. It's totally up to you. Like you pick. There is no difference in meaning, no difference in anything. The only difference is that when you say said, it's just she said, and we use told, then you need to use the object pronounced after told. Like she told me, she told you, she told anyone. That is the only difference.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. So she told me that.
She must traveled.
Very close. She had to travel this year. She told me that she had to. So must is gonna change to had to. Every time that you wanna report it, then everything that is in must will change to had to. And I think we're missing only one, which is have to. And have to, as you can imagine, is gonna change to had to as well. However, let's have an example. I have to start working out. So he said, that he had to start working out, as easy as that. So have to is going to change into had to. Any questions up to now? We're going to do a quick recap like in a minute. I just want to open a space for questions in case that you have any.
Teacher,
Tell me.
what's up when the sentence yet in past perfect or in could or in had to?
In that case, it cannot be taken any step further. Like if it's already there, that's where it is left. Let's say that there is no more, let's say that the sentence is here, like a regular sentence, and when you change it or report it, it goes close to the wall. And if it's already here, then you cannot go anywhere. Like there's no space. So if you get one with could, you cannot change it. You need to keep it like that. If you get one with had to, you keep it like that, and so on and so forth.
Okay, thanks.
You're most welcome. Any other question, guys? I'm gonna take that as a no. Okay, so let's go one by one now. So let's just start with simple present. So for simple present, let's have a sentence. I like ice cream. So it would be something like he said. That is for simple present. Then for present continuous, um, I am eating a burger. Then for present perfect. I have written 3 books. Then which other one? Simple past.
Teacher, excuse me.
Tell me.
Have you a little presentation of all these verbal times?
No, I do not have one presentation, like a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes?
No, I wish I did, but I don't.
Okay, okay.
That's why I'm doing it like this. If I had one, believe me that I would be presenting and then just like copy, guys, but I don't. That's why I'm the one actually copying everything or writing everything. I bought a plane ticket and then it would be okay. Let me see which one am I missing. Will, future. Guys, remember that if you have any question, you can just go ahead and ask me. That one was for future using will. Now let's talk about can. Okay, let me see which ones are missing or missing may. And 2 more to go. Must. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. So that was a quick, not so quick recap on all the different tenses that we have. Do you have any question or concern in regards to the topic?
No, teacher.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. In that case, what we're going to do is that we're going to move into a group activity. I'm going to be giving you some questions, which I'm going to be writing here in the chat. And I'm going to be sending you into the breakout rooms so you can actually go ahead and ask those questions to your partner. And then your partner will be asking you the questions. You will write first the original answer, and then you will convert the answer that your partner gave you into reporter speech. Clear? Questions? Okay, let me go ahead and start sending you the
Teacher,
Tell me.
excuse me, if the other person is talking in present perfect, I have to talk in past continuous.
No, if the person is speaking in present perfect, then you have to convert it. And in that case, the equivalent for present perfect in a regular sentence to a sentence in reporter speech will be past perfect.
Okay.
For that
Thank
reason,
you.
you're welcome. The questions that you're going to be answering or asking your partner are related to the book that we are actually going to see. And on top of it, I created them myself. So you can go ahead and play with different structures. So they're not just like in simple present or simple past. I'm giving you a variety so you can actually practice some of the ones that we studied or that we just covered. So let me go ahead and send them to you. Okay, there. Okay, this one is. Okay, that one is the first one. Have you ever received a gift slash surprise you didn't like? What was it? What did you do? What do you want to get for your next birthday?
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
all of this is a mood of example.
No, these are questions that you actually have to ask your partner.
Okay,
Like for example,
I understand.
if you are working with Marcos, you're literally gonna ask Marcos, Marcos, have you ever received a gift or surprise you didn't like? And then Marcos is going to answer. Something very important. I know you know this, but you have to look or listen to the format in which the question is written because there has to be parallelism. So if the question was asked in present perfect, then the answer has to be in present perfect. Because if I ask you, for example, if I say, Melissa, what do you want to get for your next birthday? That is simple present. And Melissa says, oh, I wanted to get a bicycle. Then that would be incorrect because she's actually giving me simple past and not the tense that we're actually using to ask the question. In that case, the correct answer will be, oh, I want to get blah, 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 for example. And let me give you the last one.
If the sentence is in present perfect, we need to answer in present perfect also.
Exactly. That's how it works. If the sentence is in simple present, then the answer has to be in simple present. And then the person who writes the answer would know which would be the correct structure to turn it into for reported speech. Clear?
It's very clear.
Awesome. In this case, since you have to ask all these questions to your partner and then your partner will be asking these questions to you, and then you both have to sit and report or transform these answers into reported speech, I'm going to give you what I think it's like a lot of time. I'm going to be giving you 30 minutes to work on this because you have to ask, you have to answer, you have to then ask and answer and then change it. So I don't want to rush you. I'm going to give you 30 minutes. If you have any question or concern, feel free to use the help button and I'll be there with you right away. Okay? Any question before I send you into the breakout rooms? Nope. Okay, awesome. Let me go ahead and send you. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go, guys. It's already 7:25. You're going to have until 7:55 to complete this. If you finish early, let me know so I can actually bring you here sooner. So how is that going to work? When we talk about reported speech, as you said, we are changing a direct statement into something that we're reporting. We are stating what the other person said. 4 questions in the chart that we have over here. We have the direct questions, like the one that says, are you married? And then we have the reporter questions, where again, we're gonna go one step back in past. So he asked him if he was married. There is no question mark. Who can tell me why? I know you're just guessing, but who can have a hypothesis on why? No?
Can you repeat the question?
Sure. In the one that says reported questions for the first example, the direct question is, are you married? And then the reported question is, she asked him if he was married. There is no question mark. Why do you think that there is no question mark? Okay, let me go ahead and help you out, don't worry. There is no question mark because it is not a question anymore. I'm not actually asking you, are you married? No, I'm actually reporting what question was asked to that specific person. So for that reason, we do not need to add a question mark because I'm just taking the question and say, this is what this person was asked, period. Something very important. Since the reported question, it's no longer a question, meaning not an active question that is actually performing the action of asking information, we change the structure. So how does it work? For example, are you married is the original question. We have the auxiliary slash verb, which is be, are, then the subject, and then the rest of the sentence. Are you married? For the reported
Teacher,
question, tell me.
excuse me, and what means the word whether?
Oh, whether is like if. Like if, whether, and if is this, they have the same meaning. Like if the sí como
Okay,
condicional, como he asked me whether she had called, como he asked me if she had called, the same meaning.
super clear, thanks.
Awesome. So going back to the reported question explanation. So we have the original question, are you married? And then we need to report it. Of course, we're not gonna say she said, because it's not like she said, it's she asked or he asked. So he asked him if he was married. If this was different, then you would have the be before the subject. In this case, it is not a question anymore. For that reason, it goes after the subject. The same happened for the second one. Did she call? When we use the did, we know that it marks simple past. However, when we report it, we're no longer asking the question. We're just stating what was asked. Therefore, we say he asked me whether she had called. And had called because, as we already talked, simple past goes into past into past perfect. And the same for what's your name? I asked him what his name was. Questions up to now on how it works? Is it even clear? Because I see your faces and I don't know if it's clear or if you're just confused about it. Okay, let me go ahead and let's do something different. So let me go, here we go. Okay, questions for reported speech. So we're gonna have a regular question and then we're gonna turn that question into a reported speech question. Let's see, Ligia, can you give me a regular question, something you would ask? Don't use the ones in the book, right?
What are you doing?
Okay. Hazel, what tense is this question in? Is it simple present? Is it past? If it's past continuous, present perfect, which one is it?
Present continuous.
Correct. So, Carlos, can you tell me what do we change present continuous into when we report it back? So if I have present continuous, when I report it, what is the tense that I choose?
Simple present.
Nope. Not even close. I'm
I'm going to try again.
Okay, please.
Simple past.
Very close, very, very close. It's with past, but not simple past.
Past continuous.
Yes, good one. Imaginary candy for you. So we're going to change this, which is in present continuous, into past. It's fun fact is PC. Okay, past continuous. So we're going to say, he asked me if, let's say it was if I, no, let me change it because it's not if. He asked me what I was doing. That's pretty much it. So I'm taking a regular question, what are you doing? And changing it from present continuous into past continuous. And it goes like this. However, I added a mistake there. Who can tell me what is the mistake?
The I don't know how to say
The
question mark.
Yes,
Yes.
perfect. Imaginary candy for you, David. Very good. So as simple as that. We're just going to go ahead and change it. Remember, if this was a regular sentence or question, sorry, I would say, what was I doing? But this is not a regular question. Why? I'm no longer asking. As we would say in Spanish, ya no me interesa preguntar. It was already asked. Now I'm just reporting back what was asked. Y como no estoy preguntando, but just reporting on what was asked, then I change the format. I remove the question format that it was following just to make it more into a statement. Let's do one more and then I'll let you go. Let's see. Meli Cubero, can you give me a sentence on a different tense that is not present continuous?
In simple past?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay, did she eat?
Okay, did she eat? This is a regular question, a question that is asking for information. Very good. And as Meli said, this is in simple past. Let's see, Jessica, what do we change simple past into when we report it back?
We should use had and past participle.
Exactly. And that is past perfect. So we can go ahead and say, he asked me if she what? Who can help me with that to see? Thank you, Catherine. I know you're dying to answer.
No, teacher.
What do you
I
think
don't know,
would be the
teacher.
answer? Tell me. You don't know?
Teacher,
Carla, tell me.
what are mean? What are?
Whether is like if. Tiene el mismo significado de if, como un sí condicional. You can say whether you go, whether you stay, I don't care, for example. Carla, now that you talk, I'm gonna use you now that you're here. So he asked me if she, what do you think is the rest of the sentence? Where
She,
the main verb here is eat, and it is in simple past. And since you know that we take simple past sentences and turn it into past perfect, how do you think this would look like? He asked me if she,
asked me.
huh?
Asked me?
No, she asked, he asked me if she, what are we missing? We're missing something there.
Had eat. Yeah. Pet.
Can you repeat it? If she?
She had
Ajá.
ATE.
Very close, but the past participle, it's eaten, if I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Eaten, but that was very close. Very good. Thank you, Carla. So he asked me if she had eaten in just a period over there. That is it. I had simple past and I just go ahead and change it. He asked me if she had eaten. Clear, guys?
Yes.
So, okay, that's great.
Yes.
Again, remember that when we are reporting back on questions, we're no longer asking. So for that reason, the format is changed. Since we're no longer asking, we don't need to have it with a question mark and with the auxiliary and everything. We can just say like, me preguntó tal cosa, that's it. For that reason, we change it a little bit. Okay, it's already past the 2 hours or a little bit more. So I'm gonna let you go. It's fun that I always have like hundreds of activities for the class and I just ended up doing like 2 or 3. But don't worry, as long as you're understanding, that's all I care about. If you have any question or any doubt in regards to this, please feel free to send me a message, an email, whatever works for you, so we can work on it.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me, Carla.
we send you the 8EB, the book.
The workbook.
No.
Which one? You already sent one. Ya me entregaron el primero last week. Pero te falta un montón. Faltan como 2 semanas, yo creo. Something like that or more. So don't worry.
Teacher, quiz?
Oh, the quiz falta un montón. Because this week, we don't have one this week, I believe. And next week, we're going to vacation super quick. Remember, next week, we go into vacations for 2 weeks. Entonces, a partir del 5 hasta, I don't know which is the date. Let me look at the calendar. Okay, next week is, bueno, realmente el 5 entre comillas, pero es el 6 que tenemos clase. Desde el 6, toda la semana del 5 al 11 y la semana del 12 al 18 no tenemos clases. Nos vemos el 20 de julio. Oh my God, it's going to be a very long time. Again, next week. ¿Cuándo me faltan este viernes, verdad? Puede ser que no voy a echar vacaciones desde ya, voy a empezar desde antes. No, not yet. We meet this Friday, and then next week is that we don't meet. O sea, de hoy en 8 sí ya están libres por las próximas 4 clases de esas 2 de semana y la siguiente. Questions before I let you go. Oh, before I let you go, super quick. Sí les voy a dejar de tarea, bueno, no de tarea, pues más que todo como para que lo practiquen, que completen los ejercicios de la página 146.